Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. Cardio Made Simple, video number 4, cardio intensity. Why do we need to know it? Here's the thing. The amount of calories that you burn in a cardio session or over the sessions of a week is the biggest determining factor in how much health benefit you get and especially how much weight and fat you lose. But the way that calories are determined is the total area under the curve, and that curve is mapped on an XY axis where the X axis is time. How long do you spend doing the cardio? The longer you do cardio, the more calories you're going to burn. But the y-axis is intensity. How hard is every minute of that cardio? Very hard cardio over a very long time burns a crap load of calories. Very easy cardio over a long time burns a decent amount. Very hard cardio over a short time burns meh. And of course, very easy cardio for a very short time burns very few calories altogether. Now, ideally, we'd like to minimize the time involvement. Right? You don't want to do cardio for forever. So that instantly makes us think, more intensity is probably better. And we're right to an extent. But what is that extent and where are the downsides of going too high on our level of effort in any one instance of cardio? When you do harder cardio, the harder it is, the more calories it burns per minute, the more fatiguing it is in at least 3 separate ways. The first way is that if you burn calories very fast, your total body system just gets very tired. That fatigue lasts through the rest of the day. Let's say you do really hard morning cardio, and then you have to drive your kids to school, and you're like, oh, damn kids. Boom, you crash into the dumpster. The kids are fine, but you have dumpster juice on you. It's gross. I don't know where I was going with that. In any case, fatigue, we could do less of it. Interferes with the rest of our life. Next, local muscle fatigue. If you ride on the bicycle for cardio and you burn your legs out, it's kind of hard training your legs in addition to that through the week. And if you have a really physical job, it could just be hard standing up on your feet. You're like, man, my legs are totally burned out. Shouldn't have gone this hard on the cycle ergometer. Maybe next time I'll learn my lesson. And lastly, harder cardio often has a higher impact. That means the impact that your feet and whatever else you're using for your cardio have through the ground, the joint stress it causes the ankles, the knees, the hips, and all the way up through. So a lot of really intense cardio, for example, are you doing sprint drills or hopping? Oh yeah, that'll burn a ton of calories in a very short time, but it can beat up your joints. It can tire out your muscles. Systemically, it can just make you very tired the rest of the day, the rest of the week. How do we ameliorate these problems? They're known problems of hard cardio, but we want to go as hard as we can up until we get to these problems being realistic. Well, there's a couple things we can do about it. First, we can cap most of our fat loss or health cardio, not sport performance cardio, to 140 beats per minute at most, which is like a pretty good clip. You're going to be breathing pretty heavy at 140. It's not the end of the world, but it's a cap to say anything more than this is really going to make you tired. Anything under 140 is good to go. We can try to use whole body or at least weight-bearing cardio modalities to reduce the small muscle fatiguing volume. So for example, if you do elliptical or if you do an incline walking, your legs get kind of cooked a little bit, no big deal. But if you do the stationary bike, it's your quads doing most of the work and your quads get extra cooked and that interferes with leg training. Whole body spreads the fatigue around. And that is a huge advantage. It doesn't leave any local muscle to be the most fatigued thing in the world. And lastly, we want low or limited impact to save our joints as much as possible. That means you might prefer to do incline walking or elliptical versus jogging or sports or high intensity interval training. Now you can do these other things. We just want you to intersperse them with lower intensity cardio so that you don't wear your joints down to a pulp. Every now and again, these things are cool, maybe even every other day, but every day super high intensity stuff can be done. It just has a price. I just want you to be aware of that price. So to sum it all up, here are the best practices for cardio intensity. Stay under 140 to 100, let's even call it 150 beats per minute in most cases for heart rate, which is tough, but sustainable, not overly fatiguing. If you want to go above or do some high impact stuff, then Do a few days hard and then a few days easier, or a day hard, day easy. Don't just cook yourself all the time. Have a plan to take it easier, but still do some other form of cardio. If you go ultra, ultra hard on the elliptical for a few days, maybe do some easier incline walking for a few days and then come back to it. And then lastly, just watch your joints and connective tissues. If you start to have knee pain when you're running for the first time in a running program for cardio, pay attention. Maybe try to alter your stride. If that doesn't work, maybe try to do some elliptical until the knee pain goes away. And maybe try to do some swimming, maybe even try to do some biking. Maybe try to do some incline walking. And if your knee gets completely better, start jogging, but slowly and for a very short amount of time. And then slowly increase your jogging volume from there, right? It's a good idea to back off and be smart before you fall apart. That's a really, really big key because, again, cardio is a longer-term sustainability type of thing. And on that longer-term front, next time, we'll talk about periodizing our cardio, how to sequence cardio for the best long-term approach, best results, and the lowest probability that you'll get too fatigued or hurt. Stay tuned for that. That'll be coming very likely next week. And until then, like, subscribe, comment, give thought to signing up for our Super Nerd membership on YouTube and our Team Full ROM forum, where you get tips on how to train, tons of free training programs. Myself and a bunch of other people will evaluate your video techniques and a whole bunch more. See you there, and we'll see you next time.